The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello, here I am. It's Nikki Glaser. This is Nikki Glaser Podcast. Welcome to it. I'm joined by Noah in Arizona, Brian Frangie in Los Angeles, California, and Anya Marina back in Kingston, New York. But I was with her in Chicago yesterday for a Taylor Swift weekend, which we will talk about later on the show. But I just want to start off by saying that we only have like an hour and I didn't like a window to do this show. And I didn't do my makeup for it and I was going to be late. And usually it's fine to be late, but I was like, I'll just do my makeup on air. Cause like sometimes that's interesting to people and it might drive people to our YouTube to be like, let's see what she does.
It's like an incredibly popular like TikTok thing to do is just to be doing your makeup while talking about whatever random bullshit.
Get ready with me. And this is get ready with me on the show that I'm supposed to be ready for. This is an unprofessional, like I'm late, get ready with me. So this is like, but I'm actually going to do it casually while we just talk. And I think I can do it because I get some of my best thinking done while I'm doing my makeup. It's so mindless for me. Do you agree, Anya and Noah? With doing makeup, it's like meditative.
I never do my makeup long enough to even have a thought.
Nuh-uh, that's not true. You have good makeup. You have good eyes. Sometimes.
Thanks.
I go, wow, that's a good eye. And Anya, your makeup's quick too. You don't wear much makeup, right?
I don't wear a lot, but it's all so annoying. The whole process. I'm like, sometimes I do this thing where I will talk as if I'm doing a video, an educational video, so that I can be less bored and annoyed. I'll be like, here's what you're going to do. It's so easy. You just put on a little cover up right here and you're going to want to get these under eyes.
Yeah, that's fun.
Do some quick shading.
So much of your life can be more enjoyable if you pretend you're performing, if you're a performer.
Yeah, just like, narrate
if you kind of tap into that. Yeah.
That's what I do
I'm
during
grab
sex.
the shaft.
We had the same thought. Same
oh my
joke.
God, that's incredible. That's not the first time that's happened that we had the same joke, the exact same. Anya and I are
and you guys are on a slight
simpatico.
delay for me, and it's still it matched at the same time. It was perfect. But yeah, I just feel like I had this realization the other day when I was doing my makeup. I was like piling it on, and I go, "This is like drag queen levels of makeup," which is fun to do, but it's reminiscent of drag queen. And sometimes I look like there's this photo shoot that I did. And there's a picture coming out from it. And it looks like drag. It looks like a really good drag. And so I realized the more makeup you use, the more like you're supposed to look like you're such a girl if you wear makeup, but it's like the least girl thing to do because it's really like, please don't think I'm a man. Like you're so worried. Is there something there? I was thinking like that could be a joke because I feel like the less makeup you wear, the more secure you're with. You're like, my face is girl face. But like I have to pile it on and like draw on eyelashes and like winged eyeliner and like rosy cheeks to be like, please don't think I'm a man. It like just worried.
Covering up my stubble.
Yeah. So like the more makeup, the more like you might look like a man. And that's fine. I mean, that's a look. Sometimes I'm like very into that look. But
things are changing too. I remember back when I was growing up, it was like a big deal if a man wore eyeliner, like is Robert Pattinson wearing eyeliner in this movie?
Oh, yeah.
Like stuff like that.
I forget you grew up like 10 years ago.
Is Jack Harlow wearing,
yes.
But nowadays, especially the young kids, they're all wearing whatever the fuck they want at all times. I mean, I've seen boys with makeup, with nail polish. Doesn't matter. Yeah. No one's making fun of them.
And it's like kind of hot. No, I mean, no, some people are. I mean, I've been in circles where they're getting made fun of and I do not partake, but I listen and I've noticed, yes, they're still getting kind of called out for being like, you just want attention kind of, which is like, fine. Don't we all? But what I was going to say about makeup was on the show that you worked with me on, Brian, there was a man who worked on that show. And I was so proud of him because he wore cover up over some zits he had. And I knew it because I'm a girl and I can see it, but men don't even fucking notice. So like women might think he wears makeup. I don't know how I would feel about him like romantic partnerly, but as someone who is like my friend, I was like, good for him. He looks better with it. He didn't know how to apply it yet. Like he's in 8th grade. He just started using it. So it's like 8th grade levels of girl or like 9th grade. I don't know. When I started wearing makeup in like actually college, but really in my like late 20s. But when did you guys start wearing makeup?
Probably 7th grade. I remember blue eyeliner was a thing, and then blue mascara was a thing. That was, I think, my very first. China was my best friend, and she wore blue eyeliner, and I was
China
not
was
a spring.
My best friend?
China was my girlfriend. Oh, that was off key. But yeah, I just wanted to be her, even though she's what is it? A spring or a summer? What's the one that like an Aryan Nikki Glaser type person is?
Huh.
I'm whatever that is not. I have hazel eyes and like I don't look good in like pinks.
I have no idea what you just
But
said.
you do a crazy pink lip and it looks
There's
so
like a
good.
summer, a fall, a winter, and a spring, Brian.
Skin
and
tone?
Yeah.
I don't know this.
What
am
I
I?
don't know this either.
You're like
what
the
am I?
Aryan one. Spring.
What does that mean? That I think the word Aryan is like bad. It's like hurting my ears
Isn't
in
it
a like
Aryan?
psychological way.
Like, sorry,
Doesn't it sound like kind of it's
perfect
Hitlery?
Yeah,
like a
no,
Nazi.
you're right.
Aren't you you're like a Hitler youth skin
Please
tone.
stop calling me an Aryan. Jesus Christ.
You're not an Aryan, but a spring.
No, just
is
your
what I meant.
skin is a Nazi. It's like Nazi skin, but you're not. You're only a Nazi on the outside.
I don't even think they use that anymore. Do they? Spring, summer, skin tone for makeup?
This is the first I'm hearing of it, so I don't think so. But I mean, maybe I've heard of it with eyeshadows.
You've never heard that before.
No, I don't think so.
I have not either.
Yeah.
Maybe it was in the
Sorry, we're
80s.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah,
heard it
okay,
either,
I'm
but I
a-
don't wear makeup, so. But I do live
But
pretty
I know
close to
the
a
shapes
Sephora.
of your body. Oh, yeah, that's a nice. That's where I get it from in Ulta. We got to talk about this weekend. We did Taylor Swift in Chicago and Anya was there. My mom. I went 2 nights. One with my boyfriend and his sister Khaki and his sister-in-law Emma and my mom and me. And I got these tickets I don't know if I can say from who, but as a place I love that if I can say who, I will say it because it was so generous of them. And I got these tickets because I've paid, by the way. I was like, I'm not paying anymore for Taylor Swift tickets.
Yeah.
I just can't. I've done
What
it.
number is this?
I kind of lost count, and that's like sounds like I'm bragging.
7?
I would really be annoyed with myself. Today on the plane, I was like counting. It reminded me of when I was like trying to remember how many guys I had sex with in my 20s. Like I was like, I know there was one more. There was one that like it was. Oh, I was sitting
He was
over
like a
I was
summer
trying to,
shade, and he
yeah, I was just
Aryan.
Aryan
so I was
youth.
trying to count, but I think it was the 6th or 7th.
Okay.
And yeah, but it was spectacular because the first night with Chris and his family and my mom.
Was your dad
it
there?
said, no, I invited him, but he
okay.
turned it down. And I also invited him to go see Dave Matthews with me this week, and he turned it down, as did my brother-in-law, as did my sister, as did everyone. But
Sorry, Dave.
yeah. Sorry, Dave. People aren't willing to rearrange their life to go see you. But it's so anyway, so we Saturday night, it said on our tickets when we picked them up at the box office, which I didn't have access to them before we get to the show. So I had no idea that I was going to even get these tickets because it was kind of, I got the other ones for Sunday right away. And the same people were giving me them. So I was like, what's going to happen with Saturday? So I go to the box office, 8th row, which on the floor. I'm
Damn.
so happy with that. I've been
Oh my
first.
God.
I've been 3rd. I've been 7th. I've been like 14th, and like 8 is perfect. Or I haven't been 7th. So 8, I was like, oh, it's going to be the perfect spot. 1 was too close. 3 was dope, but like the 14 was too far away. Anyway, perfect seats. And I get to the seat. I'm alone because Khaki and Emma go to get merch. My mom is doing something, peeing or something, and Chris is getting earplugs for us. And I get there, and we are not 8th row, baby. 8th row in this section has like a dent in it because the stage juts out. So we are front row.
Oh, shit.
8 is number 1, baby. In this little section, we're on the side. And it was like, oh my God, we're front row. And it was the best front row place you could be, besides the one I had with my mom where she literally sang in front of us. But it was still, this had more like depth to it. So we were further away. I think they've put it further away so it's easier to see the stage at this point. Like they've learned that the front row can kind of not see as much. It was perfect. And she made eye contact with my camera at least. I caught a little thing of it. And it was just it was just such a fun show. And it was nice to be able to, like, Chris was with me, which, by the way, he made a hilarious shirt where it says Taylor Swift on it. and then it's all pictures of me. But if you look quick, you can't really tell. Like you have to kind of like, you go, wait, what the fuck? And
that's exactly what I did when I saw the picture on Instagram. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
I'll post it because I posted a whole I made a whole draft of a post I'm going to do about the weekend because I knew we were going to cover it here. So
he is the king of positive pranks. He really is.
It was a good it was a positive prank because he kept it under wraps. He like went in the other room to change and he put on his jacket and like zipped it all the way to the top. And I was like, I know you got something in there. And then the night before, he was like coming from somewhere and we were meeting up to go to dinner or something. And I go, where have you been? And he was like, just working on something that's good. I'm like, he's always got a little scheme going. And my birthday just keeps extending. Like he keeps doing surprises for my birthday that's like more and more.
Oh, that is so nice.
He killed it with like did I talk about,
have we done a thing since my birthday?
No, well, he gave me the funniest gift. He gave me a shirt of many things he gave me, like a long sleeve tee. And it's a Succession theme. And just to explain it, we have this joke. One of the funniest things I think in Succession is Connor. He's like the brother that's played by the guy who's Ferris Bueller's Day Off's friend. Ferris's friend, Cameron. Anyway, just to tell you who it is. He's like a doofus brother. He's running for president. He's pulling at 1%, which he's bought. And yet he's really like into his 1%, and he ends up, having kind of some power with it because it's not nothing, but it is nothing. And it's so funny. And at one point he's like so proud of himself because the one guy comes up and he's like, I'm a big fan. Yeah, me and the con heads, we're all rallying around you. And he was like, con heads? He's like, yeah, that's what we're calling ourselves. And he like lights up. He's so excited to be called con heads. And so then, it's a callback to it in another scene where there's some meme that's going viral of him. And he's like, oh my God, the con heads are going to love this. And just that mutterance is the funniest line to me ever, but it's not what he said. I remembered it that way. What he did say is the con heads are loving this. So anyway, Chris printed up a shirt with the con heads are loving this on it and hit a picture of him. And then on the side of the sleeve, it says con heads. And I'm obsessed with having jokes on me that are specific and cool looking and those who know. And I think that's what I want in shirts. And so Chris found actually a really good designer. And I think I'm just going to make joke shirts.
And it's unique, so no one could ever, they'd have to make their own. So that makes it even cooler.
Yeah. And you get to design it. You get to have, I think it's a fun little thing. So anyway, Taylor Swift was fucking incredible. Front row, breezy, beautiful night. My mom was kind of like, had a place to sit down and was like comfortable. There was a whole story with some girls. We got there and there's 6 girls next to us. They recognized me pretty quickly. And one compliments my outfit, which I was wearing I was going for like a look. I was doing Evermore. It was like a long, flowy yellow dress that was like definitely the same color as one of the dresses she wore, the dress she wears on Evermore. But it also was like the style of a folklore dress. Anyway, I kind of nailed it. So much so that during the show, Chris is like, that looks like your dress tonight. And I go, oh. And then he goes, that looks like your dress tonight. And I go, yeah, I've seen the show. He like laughed. He's like, oh, I forgot. I was like, yeah, this was intentional. I look like a woodland fairy tonight. Like this is like a weird look for me. I wouldn't normally dress like this. So
the girls.
The girls.
Okay, so there's these girls. They compliment my outfit. I'm like, it's the first compliment I got. I'm like so excited. And then 2 minutes later, they're like, wait a second, are you Nikki Glaser? Can I get a picture? It was very nice. They were so sweet. They were also excited. I like loved their energy and they kind of sparked it up. So some other people started asking. So it was fun.
Nice.
It was a nice little moment to have. And I was by myself. None of my friends or family witnessed it, but I was like, yes. And, but I know, but it was still cool. But then we realized as the show started and people took their seats, these 6 people were kind of trying to fit in a place for 3 people. And so they are right next to us, by the way. So, and facing the direction that we're looking at Taylor, they're always in front of us, like she's kind of playing to that side. So it's annoying.
Yeah.
But I'm like, damn, they're my friends now and they're my fans. And so I can't get them in trouble. But then I was like, yes, I can. Like they've enjoyed 2 songs where we didn't notice. And then I started counting heads because some girls got there late And a girl goes, oh, well, we're 15 and 16. And I'm like ushering at this point. And I was like, okay, so they're 16. That means 17, 18, 19. Okay, and then we're 20. There's only 3 spots. There are 6 people there. So I go over to the guy, one of the guys, and this guy is just can't understand anything I'm saying. I go, here, I had to tell him, I go, he doesn't understand any of it. I go, there are 6 people where 3 people are. Check their tickets. It starts after my boyfriend, the girl in that shirt. And he's just kind of like confused, but he wants to help so badly. So I love this guy, you know, like he's like, okay, but he doesn't know. So then it goes up he goes over, nothing is accomplished. Khaki, Chris's sister, hears that they're claiming their phone is dead. So they can't show their tickets. Their phone is dead. But rats. I go, it's simple math. You know, let's go take all 6 of them. They go plug in their phones and then we wait and see. Like there's 6 people where 3 people should be, you know? Yeah. Well, it's annoying because it's crowding us and my mom is in the aisle and she keeps getting told, no, you're in the aisle. So she can't really be free to dance because she doesn't have a seat and it's like annoying. So, and I was like, they snuck in. They enjoyed 2 songs front row. They don't belong there. 3 of them don't belong there.
How do they pull this shit off even in a Taylor Swift concert?
I know, they're
because
so
they got lucky. There's so many people that don't show up. Like this is a point I make at my own shows. I go, thank you for showing up because so many people buy tickets and don't show up, even to Taylor Swift. And so these girls have floor seats, but they're in the back floor and they're like, okay, we'll just sneak up to the front. The weird thing is they did this during the opener, which most people don't get there. Not most people, probably half the people fill in after the opener. Smart. They just got lucky. Yeah, so then I told on them. The woman comes over. This girl means business. She's got a little headset thing. So she like is on it. And she was like, what's going on? And I'm like, here's the briefing. Okay, these 3 girls are sitting. There's 6 of them. And I go, I like them a lot. They're very nice, but they need to go. And so she goes back and I tell Chris, I'm like, I told this woman and I hope, and I'm hiding behind him because I really like this girl and I don't want her to know I got her kicked out, but like, I'm about to get you kicked out, bitch. And so she goes over to her. She gets them. She rings them up. They all leave because none of them belong there.
Oh.
Then, you think it's over? And so then I go, oh my God. And then while the girl I don't want, my friend girl, she was right next to Chris out of the 6, you know, right next in line. She's the one I like the most and we've been having a good time singing together. Like there's a rapport, right? Mm-hmm. And so she's walking by me and then she sees the girl with the headset put a hand on my shoulder and say, thank you.
Oh no.
Much like, and so it was like the scene in Succession with Shiv and Tom and Logan being like, thank you, Tom. And Shiv like through the door sees. And so I go, no. Right. And I say to Chris, oh my God, she saw. And Chris can't really understand because the show's going on. And I go, Chris, she saw me. She goes, who saw? And I was like, the girl who we kicked out saw that the woman, the security guard thanked me. Shit. And he was like, oh shit. And then I turn around to be like, like if to show him the security guard or whatever, and the girl is behind me now because Emma and Khaki have gone to get merch. So there's an opening. She sneaks back behind, and now she's behind me. I don't know if she's witnessed that I have betrayed her or not, but like she seems okay because she like I see her and I'm like startled, and then we kind of dance together like bad blood or whatever, and then like share like, hey, now we got problems. Like I have a little moment with her because I like her, but she's got to go because Emma and Khaki are coming back, and she doesn't belong there.
No.
She's brazen.
And she just keeps slipping into the cracks like a syrup.
Well, I couldn't believe it. We kept going, who is this girl? I go, she's going to go far in life. She really is because we also saw her before she ended up back with us alone, right? After we kicked her whole group out, we saw her get kicked out of the front row, number 1 on our section. And we go, oh my God. Then suddenly she's in front of me. Then she's behind me. Oh then, thank God though, Khaki was already onto this broad, you know, she was noticed that she lied about her phone. That's who gave me that intel. So I just sicked Khaki on. I go Khaki. Like I knew Khaki
no
and
nonsense.
And Emma would come back and not let this girl be in their spot. So by that time, my back is turned to the girl. I can't help you, girl. I didn't see it happen. So then she gets kicked out finally. But I mean, she was the talk of the night. This like the talk about someone who persevered in like the same way Taylor does of like just tirelessly
this girl
putting
had
on
her
a show.
eras of seats.
Yeah, she did. She took us through like 5 eras. It was a wild night. And I think I liked the her back in her seat that she belonged in era the best. But that felt soothing when she was out of my eye line.
She's going to end up working in PR or something, or be the next.
Oh, she's going to go far.
And booking agent for the next Taylor Swift.
I'd like to interview her if she could reach out. I'd like to just know what your experience was that night. I'm also kind of scared because I don't want you to think
I was on Molly.
Definitely did. Yeah, she will remember. All right, we're going to take a break and come back with Taylor Swift Night 2, which Anya was a part of, right after this. All right, we're back. Before we get to Taylor Swift Night 2, I just want to say that I'm going to be in Florida coming up this weekend, actually, Friday and Saturday. I think it's Sarasota, then West Palm Beach.
Yes.
And those shows are going to be so fun. Florida's always so fun.
I know, it's unhinged.
And I love that I get to go back so much. Like, I feel like I go there twice a year and perform, which means people are excited to see me, and that feels really good. So if you haven't caught me in Florida in a while, or you did before, the show will be different. So come out this weekend, and then also check all my tour dates, which are somewhere. And I will always know the show is coming up the week before, but I don't really look further ahead than that. So you're gonna have to check my schedule, you guys. Okay,
do you know
Taylor
what the
Swift
biggest city in Florida is? What's the biggest city in Florida?
Miami.
Incorrect. This is a trick question. Yeah, no, it's not Miami.
I like this.
St. Pete?
Largest city in Florida.
Tallahassee?
Not
Orlando.
Tallahassee.
Jackson.
Not Orlando. Oh, that's correct. It's Jacksonville. Can you believe that?
Wow.
What?
Now I'm going to double check just because I feel like I might be wrong. But no, it's Jacksonville. I've done this
What's
before.
the capital?
Really? Why?
Tallahassee.
Is there something? Is there a sprawling industry that keeps it?
Most of Florida is marshland, right? It's like the only place.
Yeah. But why does that have more people than Miami, though? I just wonder. Just a better infrastructure.
It's almost twice as large as Miami population-wise.
Sense.
It's twice as large as Tampa. Population-wise, it's 3 times as big as Orlando.
Oh.
It's like not even close. Jacksonville is a hulking behemoth of a city.
I wonder. We need to do an Adam Ruins Everything about this. I want to know why.
You know what? It's close to the Georgia border, so I don't know if it has something to do with just like being on the Atlantic coast up north further, but it's big, and it's not the capital. Tallahassee is.
Okay.
Anyway,
this is
that's
about as interested as I can get in this. I've extended how much interest I have in that. It is an interesting fact, though. I'll give you that. But I always like Florida, and I'm trying to think if I have a fact about Florida. I don't, but I'll look up some before I go there. I got to get back into that thing where I like look up interesting facts and then roast the city.
Oh, that's
kind of fun because you learn some stuff where you're like, oh my God, that was invented here, or like, you know.
Yes.
That person is from here and died here.
It's dewy.
Oh yeah, it does feel good. It feels dewy, and yeah, you feel glowy and just like wet down there.
Yeah, so wet.
You feel like a mermaid. Your hair gets all like kinked up. I love it. And then yeah, and people are generally nice, and the crowds are crazy and fun, and they like you can just like be a little bit more dirty. It's like kind of reminds me of. Yeah, they're wild. They're fun. So anyway, that's enough about Florida. Everyone's
Can
like,
you give us, for the
on.
people at home, can you give us an update on Makeup Watch? What percentage are you done?
Oh,
what have you done?
Oh, thank you so much. I kind of lost track because I was like, oh, this is good enough. And then as I convinced myself out of putting makeup on because I'm like, I'm naturally a good looking girl. I don't need too much. Let's not go crazy. So I just did a mascara, and then I colored in my eyebrows with a gel which could be horrible because I didn't do it with a mirror. And then I put on some bronzer, and I put on some BB cream.
Wow.
And then
so
I
are
did
you done now?
Yeah, mascara. Yeah, I'm done for this is my no makeup look for being in huge
You
lights.
look gorgeous. And I have some research on the seasons, the 4 possible variations of seasons.
Okay. I'm almost as interested as I was in the Jacksonville population
I'm just
stats.
letting you know it is a thing.
No, I believe it's a thing. It's just a thing. It's like Aladdin. Like you don't know references about Aladdin.
Except it's you, not me.
I know it's the other way. That's what I'm saying. It's the other way around. It's like how
if your hair color is lighter than medium brown, do you think you'd be a spring or a summer?
Are you seeing the word Aryan listed over and over again?
It actually says Nazi? No. It's just people with blonde hair and blue eyes.
Do you think you'd be a neo-Nazi or a socialist?
Strangely, it doesn't correlate to that.
Let's talk about Taylor Swift Night 2.
This was the big in the booth.
Yeah, this was in the booth. It was a different experience, but it was an experience. So
I did not know that you were gifted these tickets for both nights.
Well, I didn't want to ask for too much. The people that offered, I was like, I don't want to overdo it. So I'll ask for 5 the first night, because that's what they kind of were like, just go nuts. They kind of told me to go nuts. And I go 5 the first night, 2 night 2. Oh, I've asked for 5 for one night. And they go, you can have Sunday too if you want. And I was like, okay, 2. My mom and I will stay and go again. And then they go, actually, you can have 6 for Sunday night if you want. So days before, I'm scrambling, like, I got to fill up the 6. Like, let's call in I want to scratch off the biggest Swifties of my friends, like people who like are kind of immersed in her. So Anya was a quick pick because she obviously is learning Taylor Swift songs with me and has like
starting a band.
We're starting a band, and you preach the gospel.
Yes, the blank spaces.
Oh, yeah, that's so good.
That's really good.
Oh.
Like it sounds like our vaginas.
Sad vaginas. Blank space. No, it's like we're virgins.
Empty voids.
So it's not sad. Okay.
Desert voids. No, I like it. Blank spaces is actually really funny. Yeah. So we're starting a band. So Anya, I invited her. She said, yeah, I'll go. Then Kirsten was like, I don't know. I'm going to try to move around some clients. And Kirsten gets like sleepy at like 9 p.m. So I was like, and nothing will stop her from her daily habits. Like she's not going to be like, I'm just going to fuck it all because it's Taylor Swift. Like she's a responsible adult and like is one of the healthiest people I will ever know. So I respect those boundaries. So I invited her, but I go, listen, if it's going to kill you, don't do it. But she rallied. She comes. Then Laura Kotler, my friend from high school, who is the biggest Swiftie I know, who I'm friends with, and we text about Taylor a lot. I invited her because she knows Kirsten and she's met Anya on the road when we've been in Dallas. She is like a pastry chef. Pastry chef at the Ritz-Carlton.
Wow.
So she's awesome. Isn't that cool? It sounds like her life is a rom-com.
I know.
That's the rom-com job. Yeah. Rom-com job. And so and also my sister and my mom. So is that it? Yes.
Yeah.
And it was just the best group. Everyone got in yesterday on Sunday and we went to lunch and it was so fun. And we were talking about ghost stories.
Lauren saw Ghost, and then it turns out that Lauren and EJ both have seen ghosts, and Nikki and Julie have never seen ghosts, right?
Never seen a ghost, never want to see a ghost. No, thank you. I'm not ready for that.
Which supports our theory that maybe you're just one of those people that sees a ghost or you're not. Because how can the dad and the daughter in a family see it, but the other people don't?
Oh yeah, it's like a genetic thing.
Thank God I didn't get it.
No, because
will I be scared or
my life will change drastically if I become someone who can see ghosts. I will be scared all the time. I am in hotel rooms all the time. I am like, I can't live in that world. And like, it's just too scary.
Same.
So I've convinced myself that I can't see them, but I do believe in them because of Tyler Henry. But my sister's seen them, and but it was a fun lunch of just like laughing and any other highlights from. Oh, we sent back a plate of cauliflower. I'm not joking you. Before Anya got there, I'm not kidding you when I say this. This is gonna make me sound like the worst person ever. I've never done anything even close to this in my life. I assure you. We sent back a plate of cauliflower 3 times, and two things of steamed edamame twice before we just go, forget it. It's like not because it wasn't coming out hot. It was coming out cold, and we couldn't help it. Like it wasn't getting hotter, so I couldn't lie to the guy. He was like, "Is it hotter?" And I was like, "No, please try it." And so we sent it back 3 times, and I was like, legit, like, I'm so sorry. This is I will tip you well. And he's like, we got a new guy in that area, so I was like, be nice to him, like just. I'm not mad at him, but this isn't edible.
But this is
It
what's
just
so
isn't.
cool about comics is you guys roast people all the time and you guys get away with it because you're just so naturally funny that people laugh. Because when I got there, I ordered an iced tea and Nikki goes to the waiter, you can't fuck that up because it comes cold. She was like roasting him.
Yeah, I go, just actually put it in as a hot tea and it'll come out the way she wants it based on what we've experienced here.
Like a civilian can't get away with that.
Yeah, because he was cool. He was great. We loved him. I would have never pulled this shit with like if my flight attendant on the way home today, if she would have been our waitress, I would have been like, thank you so much. It's so hot on the first one. Like I would have been such chicken shit. He was just very nice and like personable. Because out of the gate, we sit down and I go, and a group came in at the same time as us. Now, this is just a pro tip. If you ever get to a restaurant and a huge group sits at the same time as you, just get your shit together as a table and order before them because they're never going to. And get your order in when they come for the drinks. That way you're going to get your food way faster. The kitchen's about to get backed up like crazy. So he comes over to get our drinks and I go, we're ready to order. Because when we sat down, I go, everyone decide right now. Let's not talk. Let's like decide. Because I'm just like, then we can relax. And so we got in the order. We got our food. It was totally cold. It was as if they cooked it after the other stuff we were avoiding. But no, it was actually delicious. And I love that place so much.
That was the highlight of the weekend almost for me. It was that lunch. Just I love hanging and gabbing with the Glazers.
It is so fun. It's so like that's what I was saying. Like when we got to Taylor Swift, after a while, I was like, "Do you guys just want to go to dinner and like talk about what we've seen so far?" Because it was that kind of hang. But the
Nikki Glaser classic restaurant tip is this. I remember back from 10 years ago now. Is you show up at a restaurant for brunch on the 50s or the 10s. So you don't show up like, "Hey, let's meet for brunch at 11." It's let's meet for brunch at 10:50 because everyone and their mother is showing up at 11.
Yeah. Or 11:25 or 11:20.
Yes.
You know, like on the 30s and the hour, just pick 10 minutes or so before, 15 minutes
before. Where did you learn this?
And
Nikki?
I think I read it on Reddit. I'm not going to give myself credit for that, but it was one that I spread immediately because I was like, this is genius. But I didn't spread it too far.
It's a great tip. Yeah. Well, now it's been spread.
Fuck.
Well,
There's another classic Nikki from this weekend that I observed on Lauren's Instagram, and I hope Nikki, I hope you don't kill me for this, but please. Lauren, your sister, posted a video of the stage and stuff. It's like the it's Taylor performing, it's the whole crowd, and then right before the video ends, I hear, "Kirsten, you're making me nervous."
I know exactly what that was. I know exactly what that was.
Because Kirsten, we were in a box. It was amazing for the concert. We were in a box seat, a private box with a stocked fridge.
It was
private bathroom.
No other people.
Floor to ceiling windows.
Yeah. Tilted.
No other people. Tilted
window.
So the window tilts towards the crowd. So you're like kind of looking over. It's so cool. There's a couple flaws with the architecture of these rooms that I will get into. But the idea of this room is so fucking cool. And I went through a range of emotions with it because it was, to me, not ideal acoustically at first, but it was optically one of the coolest things ever. As soon as my mushrooms kicked in, I go, you know what? This is better. Because it was so pretty with like the city skyline, and then all of like everyone gets a bracelet when you walk in and they light up. And based on where you're sitting, it doesn't know where you're sitting. The bracelets are based on your ticket. They're just random. You get them out of a bucket as soon as you get let in, and they geo-track you. And then they light up in different shapes and like just patterns throughout the show. And it's so beautiful, but you don't see it unless you're, above it all at the very top.
Long-term lasting physical side effects, but a really cool thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You get wrist cancer in 4 years, but you're guaranteed a Taylor Swift ticket.
I heard that your mom went to the bathroom and then that girl from the first night showed up in the box. Is that true?
I was like, what?
She's like, I'm here. I'm back.
I would have been like, get in here, girl, because we had room. But it was, we all brought it in terms of costumes. And by brought it, I mean Kirsten's I brought with me, and she put on 5 minutes before we left. But she looked amazing. I love that Kirsten will let me dress her up like a doll.
But do you want to explain why you said, Kirsten, you're making me nervous?
Oh, because the window. She's like leaning on the window.
She's like dancing on the window, right?
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think it was it. Like it was probably that early on. I was very like, oh God, this is going to make me crazy because there's too much dancing by this window. If someone falls hard enough, they're going to shatter through. And it's like, men
Kirsten's like twerking forwards and backwards on the window. Nikki's like, Kirsten, please.
I leaned on it. Yeah. And I go, this is sturdy. And then throughout the night, I was then like leaning on it, and you could just like lean over and not put all your weight on it. That's not what I did, but like you can lean, and it was like a way to like take it in privately. And it was, I found nice ways to enjoy the box. But
I liked what you said though. You told her, can you just not do it for like 5 minutes? I like that. Cause you're like, I'll get over this fear in 5 minutes, but just please not right now. It's like the beginning of the show. I'm worrying about my friend falling through the glass to her death.
Yes.
I just want to enjoy this.
Oh man, I was just going through a lot of emotions yesterday. And like at that point I was like, I just think I get in my head that I want to make everyone have the best time possible and like set the stage for it. And I put so much pressure on that. I think that's it. But I don't really, I think that must be it. Like I want to control the setting so that everyone is having the optimal amount of fun, because I know that it took sacrifices for everyone to like come out and do it. And I want people to like do these things again and not like regret it. And I also wanted the awe of Taylor Swift and like what I feel for her to be absorbed into my friends as much as possible. And it just wasn't the setting for it, I don't think. But, or at least I thought so at first. But by the end of it, I realized watching the show from that like point of view, you get to see it as like, Anya, you said at one point it was like a musical, and you're like, okay, I'm taking this in more as like a theatrical, like an opera. Like I felt like I was in the opera seats, like watching.
I mean, it's definitely an elite experience. You're right, Brian. You are removed.
Yeah, it came with binoculars. It should have.
You're removed from it, so there's a little detachment. But as an HSP.
Oh shit.
Who's really cold all the time, I was loving that I wasn't in the windy Chicago throngs of people down below.
That's nice to know.
And we had a bathroom, a clean bathroom. I never did use it, but all these things were cool. And the audio, as like an audio nerd, it was weird at first because there's like open windows, like these transoms are open, but otherwise you're in this box of glass. So the only audio you're getting is through the transom that's open. And then
I never heard that word.
Oh, it's like a window above a window. And
okay, I like that.
At one point, Julie's like, she points up to the speaker. She's like, these are fucking us up. And I was like, she's right. She's right. And then she
told me this today.
Then I went over to the wall and I saw that we had a button for a PA. So we're getting an audio feed that's delayed along with the Taylor feed, or maybe the audio feed was on time, but the other feed is delayed because it's such a huge stadium.
Yes.
So once we turned off the PA and you could like position yourself in a certain part of the room, the audio was much better. But at first you couldn't hear kind of anything. It was like muddy. So you couldn't hear Taylor talking between songs, which is like what I was hanging on for. But then we could. And it was such an incredible show.
I don't know what changed.
I think it's similar to like the first row situation where you're like, the first row is actually not the best seats in the house. I feel the same way about the boxes because I've been in boxes before. Yeah, you're far, you're detached. Allie's like a high-powered businesswoman, so she always entertains clients at like the Staples Center in the boxes, and occasionally I get to go. So I've seen like Lakers games and the LA Kings and stuff, and I'm always like, do people actually want to watch the game when they're in the boxes, or do they just want to eat snacks?
No. Exactly. That you just want to chat with the person next to you and eat snacks, which I love a box at a sporting event because I don't care about what's going on in the field. And it seems acceptable within the box to not actually give a shit because you accidentally not give a shit. It's not even like, it's not keeping your attention because you're removed. Like it felt like being in the box. It feels like, I love that people that can't afford Taylor Swift tickets are listening to me complain about my box seat, but it just,
the transoms in my box seat.
I was putting my hand out of the transom, now that I know that word, just to feel the air because you're just like, I felt like I was in a cage, but I could see out at a sporting event, it's fucking great. But for a concert, not ideal. Would I do it again? In a heartbeat. Did I have a great time? Yes. And it was nice to be able to like sit down and talk and take it in. Like I'm not dancing on my feet at a musical all night long. You know, like I can watch it and like enjoy it or as something other than something I'm involved in. Like when she was like, you guys are giving it all, you're all tonight. I'm like, you're not hearing what I'm giving you because there's a pane of windows up until the transom. So I don't feel included in like what you're how you're absorbing my energy, but she was emotional last night, and I hear today that someone sent me that she and Matt Healy broke up.
What? I was gonna say, how long is this thing gonna last?
I felt it on Saturday night.
Oh my God.
I was like, there is some new emotion in some places in these songs that I maybe am like reading into because they haven't been seen. Like he's on tour and they're like, it felt like the time and maybe a fling like this, if it was a fling, was going to end. And
a rebound
I guess it's
fling.
ended. Yeah. You know what? Good for, I guess he kissed like a security guard this weekend or something at a show. And that was, she's moving. So it's like,
I thought you were saying he kisses like a security guard.
I think that's true too. Like there's a lot of footage of him kissing. I don't know what that means, how a security guard kisses, but I don't even know what that meant. But he seems like a sloppy guy. But anyway,
all the Taylor fans that hate Matt Healy are probably so psyched. Like, we told you so.
Memes.
Yeah, but you know what? We told you that they dated and that she did have a fun thing with him. So. Now I'm like, once I've defended them, I'm like, now they're done. I knew they'd be over. She's allowed to still have dated that guy. And it is, I wonder what happened, but I can only wonder because I'll never know. And I don't even want to speculate because she's my girl and I don't want to, I've decided like, I don't want to talk about her personal life as much, even though I just really did go into it. But I don't want to get into the details of it until songs come out in which she lets us in, which You're Losing Me is a great insight into the end of her last relationship.
Can I just say,
like she tells us there.
What an incredible show. Blown away. Thank you for that. It was so fun to watch you watch her.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, it's rare that somebody's that swept up in something. I know how much she means to you. And then it was fun to be able to dance like wildly and dress up crazy. I wear a silver leotard. And
oh my God.
So fun.
Oh, Anya wore a silver leotard. Like it was the coolest look. You saw it, Noah, right? Like,
okay, was that from like your figure skating days? Who has something like that in their closet?
I've been eyeing it for months. And then finally the other day, I'm like, I'm just going to pull the trigger on things. If I'm staring at this thing on this website, just buy it. And I bought it. I wore it to Berlin, but I was too embarrassed to just wear it as a leotard. So I wore a skirt with it.
Yeah, it wasn't, if you would have had that plan for like the big nights, because we never knew what the theaters were going to be like, Berlin was not the type of place to wear that.
Yeah, Berlin.
That was like a black box theater at like it felt like a cafeteria.
Because it was like light out too. It wasn't getting dark in Berlin until 9:30. And I'm like, I don't want to wear this.
Oh my God, it didn't get dark until
matinee.
Midnight. Yeah, it just wasn't, it was probably the worst show of the whole tour to try to wear that.
But like, you got to wear it to a Taylor Swift show.
Yeah. Did I say that then?
No. I'm just like, I was thinking, I got to it and I asked Nikki, I'm like, is this ridiculous? And she's like, you have to wear that. I'm like, okay, thank God.
Oh my God. This is because it's so fun. This is an excuse to dress. It's like our new Halloween.
Yes.
You can dress kind of slutty and wear ridiculous things. Like I dressed like, you know, a English peasant for Saturday night. A woman who was stoned to death in 1920 or in 1820 on Saturday night. And then and then on Friday night I did like a witchy vibe. Like you can just do like fun stuff. And it was
even Julie got into it.
Oh my God, my mom looked so cute. She had this black sparkly jacket that she got last weekend in Cincinnati when they were there for their friend's wedding. And she was just like, do you think I can wear this? And I was like, yes, it's so cute. And then she wore a pair of white pants that I got her for Mother's Day from Spanx that are adorable.
You styled all of us.
And then she paired it with a shirt. Oh yeah, did I?
Yeah, you did. You told me to get high tops, which was a great call. You dressed Lauren up in the cutest pink get up, and then you put Kirsten in a hot pink get up. And
no, Lauren dressed herself. Oh, I gave her a jacket, but Lauren that had that pink dress herself. But yeah, the jacket. I mean, it's so cool. It's just so fun. It makes you feel like a teen again.
You gotta take advantage of these situations. You gotta dress up. You gotta dance the whole fucking time, because you start, as you get older, you just start running out of opportunities to dress up and dance and just release. And concerts are one of the few moments where you can.
Oh, you can go nuts.
And there's pyrotechnics in this show. And if you're not like a huge Swiftie, it's just so remarkable to see how this woman has written her songs in such a way where they truly can become like a Broadway musical. Like, you know, Nikki, you can recite the rappy part of Shake It Off when she's like, my girlfriend.
Hey.
Yeah. What's that part where she's like, my girlfriend told you, or whatever?
Oh, my girlfriend my girlfriend oh my God, this is embarrassing. Sorry.
It's all writing on this. Come on.
Counts on me. My ex-man brought his new girlfriend. She's like, oh my God. And I'm just going to shake into the fella over there with the hella good hair. Why don't you come on over, baby? You can shake.
Okay, so you hear that and you go.
That's not a rap to me. I just learned something today that is so intricate that it that makes that look like nothing. But yes, I do love that.
But you're put on the spot, and this was this was you on the spot. This is
you saved your family's life.
Your fandom.
Oh my God, that was my lose yourself moment.
Yes.
But I heard that the first time and I was like, this isn't for me. But then a decade later or whatever it is, I see it live and it's acted out with all of her, like let's say 9 dancers, and it's acted out. Like she turns to one, she says a line, turns to another, and it's like a perfectly choreographed Broadway musical. Fun. It's so well done. And it's just, it was really, really impressive. The like cinematography, that's a whole other, like you just think about
the screens are gorgeous.
The team of people that are putting on this show are just, it's an excellent show. It is truly like a Super Bowl every night.
Yeah, it is. And her voice is fucking, I could tell she was a little under the weather because she was sniffling when she was talking during before Champagne Problems. And her voice just sounded like deeper, like when you get kind of, froggy from feeling a little bit tired or worn down. But she did not suffer vocally whatsoever. It made me angry because it was so good, and she just can't, like, there's places where it's just she can't be faking that. It's like, she's ad-libbing and stuff, or like it's not like, I wouldn't even know, Anya, if she was using a backing track during the show, how would they have it so that her mic works sometimes and then other times it does or doesn't, and like when to turn it off or when to turn on a backing track?
I was already talking to Matt about this earlier because it's so cool. They definitely have tracks, because you know how sometimes she'll take like the high thing, the high note, the really long one, and then there's all the
and then there's something behind her.
So there's a cue.
She's backup singers too.
So like a loop will start, like everything except the songs that she does solo, I'm sure, are like to a track, because there's a live band playing in the wings. And so I'm sure there's like, okay, remember where the mic went out and she had the technical difficulty? So at one point her mic doesn't work. Probably somebody didn't put a battery in or whatever, but she's vamping over this long bluesy refrain that someone's playing like a bass thing or something, right?
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
So that was probably actually being played live backstage, and they just kept it going and didn't hit the cue of where the song actually starts until she had her vocal working.
Well, when I've done Dancing with the Stars and also Masked Singer, they have a little click track thing where it goes click, 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 and then it starts. Yes. So you have this thing that keeps it okay,
but
that makes sense.
But their show is so well produced. It is amazing.
If there was a backing track, I'm just thinking for myself, and I'm singing all night long, I would think that at some point I would fuck up and not sing when I was singing and hold the mic away, or sing it like I would fuck it up and people would be able to notice and put it on TikTok. I do not think she uses a lead vocal backing track, and because I think she would not risk that. There's never been a clip of her doing that on TikTok of fucking up.
I don't think she uses a lead.
Where is that? There isn't. And anyone who says there is, I'll fight you. I'm just very...
Can I interject for a moment? Because there's been a development. There's been an addition to the Nikki Glaser podcast universe.
What is it?
And that is, someone created an Instagram account.
The meme account.
The meme account. I just want to give them a plug real quick. I don't know who it is. Do you know who it is?
I don't either. No. I almost don't want to know.
Don't tell us who you are, because then it'll ruin it. Then we'll be like, well...
I love meme accounts so much, and I am so flattered by this.
It is very good memes.
Oh, it's a Nikki Glaser meme account?
Oh my God, dude. You haven't seen it yet? I'm so excited for you to hear about it.
It's called Nikki Pod Memes. That's on Instagram.
Nikki Pod Memes.
Nikki Pod Memes.
Let's go through some of our faves.
There used to be a really funny one
quite frequently
on Twitter years ago on your old show. That was so funny.
Quotes from Nikki, yeah.
Okay, let me see. I went to my own accounts. Like
already has 195 followers, 9 posts. I mean, that's really good for just starting like yesterday.
It just started. Well, the one that got me was the first one, and it said it's the one of Drake being like no, and then being like yeah. And the first one is making new friends in St. Louis, like no, and then it's convince Anya to move to St. Louis, and he's like yeah, and that's great.
That's cool.
And then there's one from the Family Guy. I don't know this meme, but it's a woman answering the phone, and it says Nikki when she gets her dream call, and it says, "Can I call you back later?" I like that. And then this one may touch my heart. It's Taylor Swift through a window communicating with another guy. They're both holding up signs, and she says, "You okay?" And the other sign says, "Yes." His sign says, "Yes." Well, no, but Nikki said you should be optimistic even if you don't believe it. And that made me feel nice. And so, yeah. And then
the descriptions of all the posts say the context of which podcast episode it's referencing.
Oh my God.
And that one said context, literally like every podcast episode. Yeah. I didn't get French picnic, American picnic, Canadian picnic. Can someone describe that?
That was a joke from the Chris Convey episode where you picked up a lollipop off the ground in the airport and then Chris called it a Canadian picnic.
That's so funny. I got to send him that. Oh my God. I can't believe I didn't get that one. Okay. So they have a French picnic. There's a picture of like a charcuterie board. American picnic looks like hot dogs. And then Canadian picnic, it's a lollipop on the ground. But it has like moisture around it. And that really threw me, I think. I don't like that. It looks like it's been like murdered. Okay. We got to go to break and we'll, I don't know what we'll do when we get back, but it'll be good.
You're not going to believe it.
All right. We're back.
I know how to pack for tour. I can give you a tip.
Okay, what is it? Let me set this up. I have no idea. I packed 3 huge bags weighing over 50 pounds each to go to Europe. I wore like a third of it. It was the sloppiest, worst packing job of my life. I need an intervention because this cannot happen again.
Wait, didn't you have
lugging
4?
that many? Chris had 1, but I had 3 of those 4. And it was too much and it was so stupid. And I always pack the day of. And usually in short trips, it's like one big suitcase and I'm fine for a weekend. But 2 weeks, I went nuts and I need to be reeled in. So Anya shared what she did to pack. And I actually am going to do it next time.
I like it because I was taught years ago by my drummer, you only bring with you what you will use. And that's it. Because we had to pack a whole band into a small like SUV on a tour. So
that seems like duh.
Yeah, so how does that work in practicality?
So I had 9 shows in Europe with Nikki, so I knew 9 outfits. And I thought, well, how many pairs of shoes can I bring? And then I just thought, well, just pretend you're styling yourself for like a TV show or an event. And that's what you'll do. So I style myself completely from dress to boots to bra to fishnets, like jewelry, the whole thing. I take a bunch of pictures. I decide which outfit looks the best. And then I decided like, this is the Munich outfit. This is for Berlin. This is Oslo. This is Tel Aviv. And I felt so relieved afterwards. And it just all fit in one bag. And then that was it. And I still overpacked
and it was great.
By 1 sweatshirt and 1 pair of shoes.
Yeah, so you have a lot to learn for the next trip, but
I do.
Let me just say, I'm not gonna ever do what you just described. As I was hearing it, I go, "What the fuck do you?"
That
think?
also sounds like work.
It is work.
It's just as much work as packing.
That's what I pay stylists to do because I will never do. I can't. I'd like to bring too much. I would like to bring a store with me, so I have options. But I famously I always do this to myself where I bring an outfit that I don't know. I've never even tried it on and I bring it. It's a crazy thing I do. So I will oftentimes not fit in the thing I brought and just have to make it work. And then it becomes like, okay, and now I can joke about this because if this, like I used to say to Chris, like I hated when people made fun of the outfit they were wearing, like, oh, I know what you guys think. I'm parking cars outside or whatever. Because you're like, you chose that. So why are you acting like this is a novel thing? But I don't mind it when you are taking a dumb fashion risk. I think it's funny to call it out on stage or like something is obvious about your appearance. Because for me, I didn't choose it. It chose me when I got there because I didn't have anything else to wear. So therefore I can make fun of it because I had nothing else to wear. And so if I'm like, I look like, I don't know, I don't know what I've looked like recently, but this is my brain on drugs. But I can't.
Barbie Dream Girl.
No. I mean, when I look like I've someone's just like gone like this next to me, like just blowing me up, inflated me a little bit, just a little bit.
Come on, you're bagging on your weight.
Just look a little, because it's a tight dress, and so you look fatter in a tight dress. If you want to feel thin, buy jeans that are too big. It's awesome. I recently did it, and it's Levi's, so it's just like a high number that you don't like. They don't have a size on it, so I don't really even know. You know, Levi's, like the numbers, they don't make any fucking sense.
I know.
So
what is it?
it protects
For guys, it's like 32, 32, 34, 32. Is it like that or something else?
I forget. Yeah, it's like it's width and length. It's like it's inseam and length, but it's like I don't
and
whatever.
Then there's styles. They name them weird numbers and letters. So
no, I loved this. I was in a Tel Aviv market and I just saw some Levi's hanging up and I was like, those, and they look like they fit. And the guy's like, I was like, where's the dressing room? There's nothing. It's like we're in a small little corridor, like with all these little shops.
Like,
there's nothing.
Can I take
and
my clothes off? I'm an American. Ooh.
So I did. I just put it over my jumper. I was wearing a very short shorts, which I shouldn't. I felt culturally in Tel Aviv, I could finally like let loose, and I was wearing some like booty shorts. So I put on these jeans over it, and he goes, "Mom jeans," and I'm like, "I know, I hear
Thank you, son."
He kept saying "mom jeans," like I didn't know. I'm like, "I'm aware." He goes, "They're big, they're big." I'm like, "Yes, I get it." And then, but I got 3 pairs of Levi's that are like amazing.
Oh my God.
And I was changing in front of all these people walking in a market. It was actually the most enjoyable experience because it was fast.
Just another American wearing Levi's jeans.
Yeah.
And
you had to go to Israel to get Levi's.
Final thought. Yeah, that is weird that I had to go
You've got to get your Levi's in Tel Aviv. It's the only place.
Let me just
it's like
sell
going
you
to
on this.
Istanbul for your hair transplant or like a nose job.
boys.
It's like it's going to be the new place.
Let me just sell you on this one last time. The upside to packing my way is an extreme high of minimalism, and it's just so easy. Imagine going on tour and all you have is one bag, no trolley, no cart.
I felt it before. When I have stylists, all I do is show up to a thing. I don't have to think about fucking anything. And that's what you've done for yourself, is you've given yourself that peace of mind of not having to worry about that. I think I said final thought, but if not, final fucking thought.
I have Kirsten's voicemail if you want to play that.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So this is I'm so glad you guys made it to this part of the show, because this is one of, you know what? I'm not going to sell it too hard because people always say I do that. And I'm going to say, it's fun. We were doing prank calls on Saturday, and Kirsten, there's a picture too of it happening. We'll put it on the pod. Who was filming? Were you filming on it?
Yeah, I filmed.
Oh my God, it's so fucking funny. But she calls and she gives away like awards. It happened on my reality show, but it's she calls this girl Michaela, who's calling to give you an award because you were the biggest fan. So anyway, she calls my dad and leaves this message. My dad then sends it to the group chat, my family group chat, and says, let me see what he says, because we don't know yet if he has to know it's a joke or we're going to worry about him. But it said, so exciting to get this call for Julie, ! And let's hit it. This is Kirsten.
Good afternoon. This message is for Julie Glaser. My name is Michaela, and I'm a talent scout in the Chicago area. Last night, we had a drawing for the Senior Swifties of America contest. I'm calling to get a hold of Julie Glaser today because last night, we actually were able to use digital technology and lasers at our show to track down our biggest fans over 60 plus. Last night, Julie, we were able to track that your arms pumped harder with a higher degree and range of motion than anyone else in the entire crowd of 60 and up. That means your shoulder flexion went past 90 degrees at least 170 times during the concert. 170 times. Can you believe it? I can. So part of this award, because you pumped your arms so hard on some of the key songs, Karma, Bejeweled, and also all of the Red songs. Do you see your arms moving so hard? We are giving you a special award today, Julie. This award is the Golden Senior Swiftie. It's only eligible for the 60 and up. And because of this, we are going to ship out an album signed by Taylor In addition to that, a new fiber supplement that Tyler is promoting to all of her senior fans. Julie, we can't thank you enough for the energy you gave last night. Your weight shifted back and forth.
She keeps
going. An average of 387 times. Weight ratio from heel to toe was also very extreme. It was a rapid shift, which means we know you were dancing hard. We know your dogs were barking today. Julie, we wanted to thank you so much for the effort you gave in showing Taylor Swiftie that you are one of her biggest 60 and up fans. We should ship this award out in 5 to 7 business days. Limited Liability, LLC, National Swiftie Fans of America.
LLC.
Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
It just keeps going on so long.
Wait, was that pre-written or is that off the
no,
off the dome?
She's off the dome. Like I give her these prompts and she's like, I need a second. I go, you don't need a sec. You can trust your instinct. I've been watching her do this forever. She says the funny shit. The first time that was like an amalgamation of a lot of ones she's done in the past. But when she said, we've been using technology and lasers to track your movements. Technology and lasers is so funny. Like she picks the funniest things in all the Red album.
That sounded like an I think you should leave sketch with like especially the repetition of you pumped your arms, like repeating that phrase.
It's the same sense of humor for sure. Have you watched the new season?
Oh, of course. I watched it instantaneously as the second it dropped.
How good is it?
I really love the egg sketch.
Really? That's your favorite? That's so funny. That's your notable sketch.
My notable sketch is the egg one. I mean,
the reality show.
There wasn't one to me that stood out at the highest peak of like, there's too much shit on me, but it maintained a like.
There's too much shit on me is your favorite?
To me, there's too much shit on me transcends comedy.
Okay, that's the one where he wears a mask in the mall being like an old man and he's on a reality show that's like a prank show and he gets this made up like an old man. He's like, and then he gets in the mall and he's like, wants to get out of it, but he's communicating with the guys in the van that are doing the prank show. And he's like, there's too much shit on me, man. And like, there's that one is not even in my top 10. That's so funny, but I do know that everyone loves it.
One time I have been the man in the van before on a prank show. So maybe I like related to it more or something.
Right.
But I watched that.
What prank show?
It was a pilot that didn't make it. Yeah. But it was just a prank show. It's almost exactly like what the sketch is.
Okay, yeah.
And we had a van with monitors.
Were you on being filmed or were you just a producer?
I was the producer and I had the headset and I would say things to say to the person in their ear.
Yes, I did a show called Money from Strangers that Jeff Dye hosted, and comedians would sit in a van and get a stranger that he found on the street to go into a store, and then we'd be in their ear fucking with people and telling them to say funny things. It gave me a lot of anxiety, crank yankers levels of anxiety. But yeah, I think you should leave. I'm sorry for this is inside baseball, but like you guys have got to watch the third season. There's the first episode has the reality show sketch that I think is one of their strongest, most accessible ones.
Which one is that? Tell me what happens.
Zipline.
Oh yeah, that one's great. I mean,
that one can get your dad into it right away. You know what I mean? Like it can get your friends. You need intro sketches. If you know, I think you should leave. It's too much at first in some ways, and they usually with their shows, I think, ease you into it. But there's one with Fred Armisen that's hilarious that I really liked. But I've only seen 3 episodes. I'm very excited for the rest.
Oh, no, it's all good. I want to be clear. It's maybe my favorite show. And I was looking I had like the date circled on my calendar for when it comes out. I watched it instantaneously. So when I say it didn't reach the heights of like there's Taylor too much shit on me. Yeah, I'm saying that those sketches, there's a couple of sketches from the first 2 seasons that like transcended comedy for me. In the third season, I have to rewatch, but
it's gonna need a rewatch. That's the thing. People, if you think it's not as good, it's because you've seen those. This show is a sketch show that much like most sketches, they get like better with like more viewing. Like the second or third time you watch it is the best. I think would be the optimal. It's kind of like less like stand up, more like music in that way of like it makes you want to rewatch it. You know what I mean?
100%. It's like every sketch is like a song, and then you have the hit songs you want to listen to, and then over time, of course, you like
my
any song.
favorite is the songs, the Sloppy Steaks song. And what is it? What is the song again?
Their bones are their money.
Bones? Oh, Bones Are Their Money is the
best. You
best.
love the Bones Are Their Money.
No, but just the song that they like.
It's like a rock. It's like a soft rock song.
And then the other one that's Friday Night. That one.
Yeah, that's how they ended season 2, I think.
Oh, it's so good. So there's like musical, he's just really leaning into this guy now. Every sketch is this guy. And I really think it's a good idea. I like how it's like, they're not fucking around anymore. The guy's crazy. Right. He's crazy right away in the sketch. I feel like, I'm so excited that I haven't seen all of it. Speaking of haven't seen all of it, Anya, you did finish Succession. And can we just give a closure to that since the two of us who watch it, just for fans who also listen or watch Succession, and I haven't been able to really give into it. We can say spoiler alert. Do spoiler alert. Okay, so we assume that if you're still listening, you have seen the end of Succession, and also Brian and Noah. How much do you guys care?
I already know who successes, so
okay.
It was said on another podcast.
If a show is good enough, then a spoiler won't even matter because watching it will be,
You'll forget it by the time it happens anyway.
Honestly, you probably will. But anyway, we can talk about it without getting too specific. I thought it was great. And the scene with the hand is my favorite. And like her not really holding his hand back and just laying it in his hand as he's like trying to, he's just, inherited everything and they're in the car together. That was like so powerful to me and also funny. And I can't believe she did it. I was shocked and hurt and so mad at her. But I was telling Anya today, the pivotal reason, which I've learned about only from Reddit threads about Succession, the reason that she said, no, it can't be you, I'm voting no, is because of how he behaved in Logan's chair when he sits down in the chair and he puts his feet on the desk, which I didn't even catch 2 times of watching it. And then he has an interaction with Stewie in that same office that was really obnoxious. And you can kind of see there's a little glimmer of her face being disgusted with him. And then when they get to the board meeting and hold the vote, Kendall starts out and is like, I think we should just get to the vote. This deal is a good deal. The reason why, Roman and I secured it and we were very, happy to do so and excited about it. And he didn't say that Shiv did too. And Shiv did play a part in that. So she felt like those 3 things and it comes to her and she's just like, fuck you, man. She's disgusted by him. She even says it in the boardroom. She's just like, I love you, but I can't, what did she say? I can't stomach you. So I think that's it. But it was hard to understand. It was hard to accept. And it was like watching, it was like, no. Did you have any spoilers leading up to it, Anya, since you watched pretty late? Like, did you kind of know?
I saw the Succession IG account posted Tom's picture and then it said CEO. So I knew that it would be him.
God damn it.
I know. I'm like, give it 48 hours, guys.
That sucks. Well,
I was late. It's my, I shouldn't be following.
Yeah, I guess they waited.
Succession
accounts. He's got the most fun name to say. That's all I know.
Tom Wamsgans.
I heard the etymology of it. Did you hear that? I don't know where.
Yeah, it's about like a baseball player that did struck out 3 people in 1926 or something.
Really?
And so there was some.
I heard it had
that's
something
what I was
to do
telling.
with like weakness or I don't know. I forget what it was.
Oh yeah, there was that one too. There's a lot of people just speculating about like what the folklore of Succession.
I
that's
absolutely
the recap.
loved this scene between him and Madsson, where Madsen's like, I don't know. And plus, what do you think? Like, what do you?
Oh, that was amazing.
Plus, I kind of like want to fuck Siobhan, so
and that made me horny too. That scene.
Insane.
I was waiting for Madsson and Shiv to have a horny moment, and she wasn't even present, and he was kind of cuckolded too. So that was like a kind of a horny scene for sure. But it was also like poor Tom, and also Tom fucking my dad when we were watching that. I watched it the second time with my parents. My dad was just like, oh, you fucking pussy.
But
like under his breath, he was so mad at Tom.
He's doing too. He totally knows how to play it too.
Yeah,
he's not a dummy.
So do you think top 5 show of all time?
Yes.
Now that it's stuck the landing. Top 5 for sure.
But I haven't seen all the greatest shows. I haven't seen Breaking Bad, even though I'd put that up there, even though I've never seen it. I just know. The Wire I'd put up there. I've never seen it. I just know. Yeah. And maybe 6 Feet Under, I'd put that there. I haven't seen it. I just know.
Veep.
And then I leave one space for one that I have seen, Veep. Or 30 Rock. All right, we got to go. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Come see me live and follow that meme account and don't be cat and just send the show, Nikki.